Hello everyone. On March 13th, a visit to a Mumbai theatre was met with reluctance, a reflection of the resistance cultivated by urban life in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, New York, London, and Paris. In an environment saturated with spectacle, the need to ration wonder becomes apparent, leading to a preference for stillness over sensation. Invitations often feel like echoes, prompting instinctual refusals, not out of indifference, but as a means of self-preservation. The soul can only absorb so much before it begins to shield itself. When Vinay Mishra, persistent and devoted, reached out, Joyce Arora and I, like many urban dwellers, delayed and deflected. Eventually, we agreed, not out of a desire for transformation, but to honor Vinay's invitation. This distinction is crucial. We were fulfilling an obligation rather than seeking an experience. Our arrival was marked by that same quiet resistance. We bypassed the red carpet, not from disdain, but from a lack of interest. The evening's glamour and the orchestrated appearances held no allure for us. Instead, we entered discreetly, hoping for a simple experience, in and out, without fanfare. Yet, as the evening progressed, a subtle shift occurred. It was not abrupt or dramatic but rather a gradual illumination, akin to a room filling with light unnoticed until dawn breaks. What unfolded was not just a performance but a profound proposition that has lingered in my thoughts since. 5 days have elapsed. The world continues its relentless pace. News cycles shift, and conversations evolve. But Tesseract remains present in my mind, not as a fleeting spectacle but as a revealed responsibility. I observed the audience, noting a symbolic restraint among the creators. They were present but not performative, not dominating the space. Meera Jan, poised and articulate, did not seek the spotlight but instead gave voice to the narrative. Her words resonated with clarity and elegance, inviting attention without the need for applause. Beside her, Sameer Jan embodied a rare restraint, his quiet presence speaking volumes in a world where power often demands attention. He did not seek the limelight. He created space for it, offering a lesson in humility. The performance that followed mirrored this discipline. Each movement was deliberate, every moment carefully crafted. There was undeniable spectacle, yet it never overshadowed substance. The dancers moved not to impress but to convey meaning. Technology served to illuminate rather than overwhelm, and the music engaged in a dialogue rather than commanded attention. Light became a language, and bodies posed questions, leading to a persistent inquiry. What is truth? The term is often used casually, invoked with conviction, yet seldom interrogated. Tesseract compels this examination, not by providing answers but by broadening the question. The metaphor of the tesseract, a four-dimensional cube, illustrates the complexity of truth, which cannot be perceived from a single perspective. Truth must be approached and reconsidered repeatedly. It is not a static entity but a dynamic field. This realization brings discomfort. We have become accustomed to finality, desiring conclusions and clarity while complexity unsettles us. Tesseract challenges this tendency, resisting simplification and withholding resolution, leaving us suspended in a state of consciousness. 5 days later, this consciousness has crystallized into a deeper understanding of responsibility. The production dismantles the illusion that truth is someone else's responsibility. We have long outsourced truth to journalists, institutions, and algorithms, expecting it to arrive neatly packaged. Tesseract disrupts this expectation, asserting that truth must be actively engaged with. A particularly striking moment in the performance depicted chaos on stage, a representation of the modern condition. Amidst the overwhelming noise, a stillness emerged, not resolution, but a moment of clarity. This stillness revealed that clarity is not the absence of noise but the ability to navigate through it. It is a practice, not a gift, and such discipline is increasingly rare in our fast-paced world. In the days following the performance, the words of Faz echoed in my mind, urging engagement. Speak, for your lips are free. Speak, for your tongue is still yours. Tesseract reveals that silence is not neutrality. It is a form of participation. Even in silence, we influence the world, aligning ourselves with truth or its absence. The question evolves from, what is truth? To, what is my role in it? This shift is profound and uncomfortable, as it demands active engagement rather than passive observation. Since the performance, I have found myself reflecting on the ideas presented, accompanied by an unexpected longing for shared experience. I wished my family and friends had been present to share in this stirring, as it was an experience meant for dialogue and community. Ultimately, Tesseract suggests that understanding is not a solitary pursuit. It is collective. Truth is not a private revelation but emerges through conversation and communion, shaped by shared exploration rather than individual certainty. This realization is why the experience lingers. It does not conclude with the final curtain but begins anew in the discussions that follow. Life has resumed its usual rhythm. Meetings, messages, and daily activities. But something has subtly shifted. I find myself pausing, listening, and questioning more, not from doubt but from awareness. Once truth is perceived as a dimension rather than a declaration, one cannot revert to simplistic thinking or accept singular perspectives. Recently, I received a cake from Meera and Samir Jan as a gesture of gratitude for my reflections. While thoughtful, it highlighted the irony that much remains unsaid. Some experiences resist containment. They expand and evolve, insisting on revisiting. This revisiting is not repetition but a continuation. Tesseract is not merely a performance. It is a question we carry. Engaging with it leads to a deeper understanding of our world. We do not lack truth. We lack engagement with it. Truth is not disappearing. We are retreating into convenience and certainty. Tesseract calls us back, reminding us that our voices, questions, and even our silences matter. The future we inherit will be shaped not only by our words but also by our choices to remain silent. 5 days later, the theater has dimmed, the stage cleared, and the city has surged ahead. Yet, the Tesseract remains within us, not as a spectacle but as a summons, waiting to be engaged with repeatedly. Because truth does not simply arrive. It unfolds only when we do. Thanks for watching JMBDD News.